Alright, so if you don't know, there have been developments concerning this particular story that I'm about to tell you. And yes, there has been a response concerning the story Prophet Owusu Bempah said on his pulpit when he was preaching and was about to prophesy. He gave Apostle Opoku Onyinah some warning and all that. This is a short video, but if you want to know the whole thing, is on the previous post. This is a short video concerning what Prophet Owusu Bempah said.
At that point, I was hurt. Jehoshaphat advice Ahab. Catching said no. Mimi tie difference. Menya sa one advice no. Now I expected Jehoshaphat to have said to King Ahab that no, I understand the ministry of prophets. Tear me. Listen. Yeah, minimobia. Where so penny power Ghana? Where Pentecost ni? Wo one is of penny be farm me koshe ufie. And a ubusa me say, dear rade can't found men can't show. Aso MPP for a Thanksgiving service. Sign a mini pay or preachy. Was saying and a different sorry. No more shank come cause confusion. As you cook them, what do me cause of fear? I catch them and say, me sound come. What do you mean? Huh? Dear me. Listen. Here, unim. Also for penny or Opoku Onyinah, on your careful. Oh, the family question of fear. Some said then when you make her. Who was outside? No cassette here before. What the family could show you. When they software and any word. And then I pass out. What are you talking about? Huh? Dear.
Now, my issue is, what at all did Apostle Opoku Onyinah say for this kind of response to come? So let's watch what Apostle Opoku Onyinah said. Let's go to the Genesis that we have as evidence. Let's watch that.
One of the offices which has been abused from ancient day to contemporary times is the office of a prophet. There are true prophets, but the true prophet must be an epitome of wisdom and knowledge so that his or her ministry must not bring confusion into a nation. It is my plea to those who call themselves prophets in our country that they would exercise patience and wisdom and not to prophesy on who is becoming president and who will not, and not to prophesy of the evils that some people are going through, whether they are going to die or not, but give us the mind of God that will grow our economy and grow our nation. May the Lord have mercy on us.
So basically, Apostle Opoku Onyinah was saying that these kind of prophecies have become too rampant, and that if they can give it wisely in ways that are more private, ways that, do not cause rift and confusion, that would be better. He didn't mention anybody's name. But then we all do know that in a lot of ways, Prophet Owusu Bempah has been associated with stuff like that. At the end of it all, some journalists, confronted him, and then what he said seemed contrary to what Apostle Opoku Onyinah had said. So then he became sort of offended. Now, he doesn't say anything. Now, this happened. This MPP Thanksgiving thing obviously happened in December, right? December 28, thereabouts, all right? 2020. We don't hear anything from Prophet Owusu Bempah again till 31st of December 2021. A whole year has passed and some days. Prophet Owusu Bempah addresses the thing in public to the church. Now, this was his view, his perspective. I don't want to say he lied or whatever it is or whatever. I don't want to stretch that far to that point, but this was his narrative concerning the whole story. That's the video you watch. Now, GPCC has also brought their narrative. That's the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council have also brought their narrative of what happened. And they released a public statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it can discourage some of you from watching this video. I know you very well. So let me just give a summary of it. Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council has come out to say that yes, there was a meeting, but not according to what Prophet Owusu Bempah said. In fact, there was no meeting like that, but the meeting that was between the Executive Council of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council having to meet Prophet Owusu Bempah as an executive council. Now, they didn't want to all go as, the whole council going to meet Prophet Owusu Bempah to question him or to speak to him concerning some of the prophecies that he had given that seemed disturbing or troubling. Now, the council decided, all right, why don't we take just a few people to go meet him and then address this issue? Apostle Opoku Onyinah and then one other man of God, they go and then they meet Prophet Owusu Bempah. This meeting has its record as Apostle Opoku Onyinah never asked anything concerning Prophet Owusu Bempah for any prophecies. What is the understanding or the story concerning why Apostle Opoku Onyinah would come out to give such a statement at MPP Thanksgiving, even though he did not mention anybody's name, but yet it seemed to have caused offense? Let's read the scripture. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15 to 17. It says, if any of my followers sins against you, go and point out what was wrong, but do it in private, just between the two of you. If that person listens, you have won back a follower. But if that one refuses to listen, take along one or two others. The scriptures teach that every complaint must be proven true by two or more witnesses. If the follower refuses to listen to them, report the matter to the church. Anyone who refuses to listen to the church must be treated like an unbeliever or a tax collector. So this is the pattern of addressing issues. You first go to the person privately. Then, if this doesn't work out, you go with, a group of believers or a believer to, stress on the matter and for it to bear witness for the issue to be settled. If this doesn't go on smoothly, now it is addressed to the church. The church comes in and it still doesn't settle down. It is addressed publicly. Let's take the pattern or the story of GPCC in how they handled their issues concerning prophecies with Prophet Owusu Bempah. I believe that privately they might have tried to, connect with him. And then after that, a council, the whole executive council, because I don't think a matter will just come up and the executive council will just get up one day and say, okay, we're going to address the issue. So executive council have now come together and you're saying, all right, let's select a few people to go. Now, this is the second stage. Let's select a few people to go and then, address the issue. So they went. The third stage is addressing it to the church. I believe that this was the best way that Apostle Opoku Onyinah could give it out to the church. Because if he had done it any other way, it would be like, he's trying to seclude things and all that and cause division in the church. He gives this in a very wise way concerning prophecies, that please, all those who are prophets, who are gifted in seeing, please, be circumspect in how you give your prophecies and all that. What are the stages that we do know that Prophet Owusu Bempah took? He didn't talk about him seeing Apostle Opoku Onyinah privately. He didn't talk about him going with one other person to go see Apostle Opoku Onyinah concerning this, that he was offended. He didn't go through any of these stages. All we saw was that it was right in front of the church, live stream. Everybody has heard it, that he has an issue with Apostle Opoku Onyinah and he's warning him. This is the first red flag for me. That between two men of God, one having to pass through these stages to address the issue, and one jumping straight to his pulpit and making a sermon out of it. Now, this is in no way trying to be biased. Let's look at it from the lens of scripture concerning how we as believers can be able to live our lives. This is the first red flag for me. The fact that one went through the process of reconciliation concerning a matter to address a matter, and the other one just jumped to the last. The second part that really surprises me the more concerning what Prophet Owusu Bempah has done. And like, I don't enjoy, coming up to come and prove something that somebody is doing this and all that, so I know better. No. But let's look at this in wisdom concerning scripture. We are doing this so that believers will learn the right way of addressing issues, because there are a lot of people who are offended. They keep it in their hearts. They don't talk about it. And this is not about who is gifted the more, who can prophesy. This is about the fruit of the Spirit. After that, we'll talk about, prophecies and how Prophet Owusu Bempah said prophecies have helped. We'll get to that. As I watched the video of Prophet Owusu Bempah talking, even to the point of warning Apostle Opoku Onyinah, I was surprised. I was really surprised that from the story you could see that he hasn't seen him privately to talk about it. And it's been a whole year of harboring this issue. And the first time he addresses it is before his church, a live stream that goes publicly. It's not addressed to, men of God being admonished to take steps concerning, walking circumspectly like how Apostle Opoku Onyinah did this. This is just straight making a warning. And then the last. And yes, I'll release the details of the story or the details of the prophecy, of which even GPCC has said that there was nothing like that. Now, this is between two men of God. I'm not coming to stand here to come and say this one was lying, this one. Look, I don't have time for those things. Let's look at what we can learn from this and drop this matter once and for all. Let's just drop the ball and leave. And that's what I'm talking about concerning how somebody can keep such an issue. We are all human, yes. But for somebody of that position, for somebody that people expect, the fruit of the Spirit from, like literally your members demanded from you, the fruit of the Spirit. And for you to do this, I don't want to go there, but I have to. Concerning the track record of Prophet Owusu Bempah concerning the fruit of the Spirit, we all know that last year, issues came up, even to the point of, bail, he going to court and all that. I'm not going to waste time on that. But if you get it, you get it. Concerning the fruit of the Spirit. Now, let's get to the aspect of prophecies and how he stated time and time again of all the testimonies that he had given concerning the prophecies. As for me, now that this one has come out as one side of the story, I really would like to know the side of all the other stories before I can jump to affirm. However, that does not mean prophecies do not work or prophecies have not helped people. There have been public prophecies with solutions backing that have helped. There have been prophecies that have really saved people. Individually, people have been saved by prophetic words. And it is the fact. We are not saying we do not believe in prophecies. We are saying prophesy circumspect. We are only asking that. Now, what IGP Dampare brought out is him saying, we are, and it's written in the point 8. I don't know how people want to take this. This is not persecution to the church. He is saying that if you are prophesying and it is disturbing enough to put somebody in an uncomfortable situation where he fears he's going to die, and you have no solution for the person, but you have rather put the person in fear, this is it. You have caused fear and panic because you have said it publicly. That is what IGP Dampare is saying, that don't do that. If you do that, you are going to go to jail for 5 years if it comes out as so that is what you've done. So, and they also stated that this is not to discourage you, or they are not saying nobody should prophesy, but do well to stay within your means. How is such a step after Pentecostal and charismatic council have tried all these steps, meeting behind the scenes with some of these prophets, and it has been to no avail? You want them, the same Ghana police people, to come to you, to come to you for solution when they see you as part of the problem. I beg. Now, this is what I would say to conclude the whole matter. Look, I know those who are diehard Prophet Owusu Bempah people will come and tell me I should be careful dealing with men of God's issue. That's not my concern and all that. But I know you, that as you are watching, you've been blessed by this. I know that you've learned how to deal with issues in church. You've learned how to deal with issues on the side. You've learned how true men of God, great men of God, deal with their issues on the side. How they don't jump to the pulpit. How they don't come and just scream it out in public. but they go through stages before it gets to a certain level. This is not in any way trying to come out to sound so wise concerning an issue and all that. Who am I? I'm a young guy still in a prophetic ministry, still growing. But when there is such imbalance concerning issues like this, a lot of disparities concerning this kind of stuff, somebody has to come up and talk about it. I'm not saying I'm the one who is so wise amongst my mates, so I should come and sit here and talk. Everybody has a burden, and it is the burden that will depend on what you do in ministry, all right? And God is the one that gives the burden. So this is my burden concerning the prophetic, and this is just one of the burdens, and I believe this is okay. Look, I've said it time and time again. I personally don't believe in Prophet Owusu Bempah's ministry, and that is in no way to say he's a false prophet or whatever. I can't make that declaration. I just I don't believe in his ministry because of the track record of the fruit of the Spirit and all that. But he's not perfect. He's not perfect, and Apostle Opoku Onyinah too is not perfect. Everybody is growing. Yeah, we are all still headed towards perfection. Me, myself, I'm not perfect. There are a lot of words about me. I know. So this is where I'll end it. All right. Stay blessed, stay connected, stay safe. If you love this, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Now you really know how I think concerning this issue. If you are angry too, you want to give it to me, come to the comment section. Stay blessed, stay connected, stay safe.